Houston for like 2 years with Steve Francis, and that's when I learned about Juneteenth. They've celebrated for years, and once I seen it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I learned a little bit about it. I was like, hold on, we gotta try this at home. So then I heard Germantown did it last year. I said, hold on, we're behind the gun. So I talked to the city, I talked to Kara, I talked to Terry Seaman. They loved the idea, and we made it happen.
I am just so thrilled to get to be a part of this. Tim is one of my favorite people right now because he's brought me into this, and it just so happens that I grew up in Houston, Texas. Now I am a Takoma Parkin proper after 20 years.
Yes.
But we got some good things going on in Houston that we can bring here too, and that is also the place where Juneteenth happened, which means a lot of people were living under slavery for 2 years without even realizing that that was what was going on. And so Houstonians figured out how to celebrate the liberation of the people, and we brought it here, right?
That's right. One of the biggest things that we're going to try to do is interact the police with the citizens. And that's how we grew up. When we grew up with the Takoma Park Recreation and the police department. The police department took us camping, and I don't think that's going on anymore. So that's some of the things that we want to bring back to Takoma Park community. You know, and that has to stay with, I ain't gonna say slavery, but freedom. I mean, everyone has a right to do what they want, when they want. But when you're dealing with people, it's like learning them is the best thing to do. When you, like with the police, we learn they're real people. They're not just people behind the badge. So, you know, once you learn people, you get to know people, different nationalities. I mean, sky's the limit after that, you know, especially at Takoma Park. I mean, we have so much nationality here. I mean, I've learned a little bit of Spanish, I eat Ethiopian food, so it's like great for me. I love it.
I'm really excited that you've given us the opportunity to bring this event here and to make it an annual event. And we have committed to that, this city council and even our current mayor and our city staff. And I couldn't thank you enough for that because it's deeply meaningful. I think we can't move fast enough towards continuing the process that is almost never ending of liberation. We go up, we go down, sometimes we go far down, right? You know, and all we can do is keep trying to go forward. And I just thank you for helping us to try to go forward and go faster. You know, we can go faster and we can go harder and we can go deeper and we can learn from one another. And I mean, I consider our close working relationship and our friendship to be something where, for me at least, it's a deep learning experience. And I love hearing your stories about growing up on Maple Avenue. I didn't grow up here, I grew up in Houston. And I know from having lived here for 20 years and choosing to live here with my family, that this city had committed itself, on paper at least, to the idea of better racial integration. And yet I can see now, having lived here for 20 years, that there's a lot of things we're not doing right. And I can say that today we're doing something right. We're doing something right. And if we had another 500 people here, then we know we're doing it even more right. And there's just a lot more to do. It's a start, but we got to start somewhere. And so, I mean, in our police force, you talk about working with them. Our police force, I'm really proud to say today, is demographically fairly representative of our population in terms of the percentages of the population of our police force that represent our actual population here in the city. And I think it's pretty amazing that you had this experience as a young person of, you know, playing basketball, going on camping trips. I just love hearing these stories, and I would love to see some of that coming back. So I think it's just a conversation. We got to keep going, you know? So I thank you.
This is fantastic today. You know, Juneteenth is such a historic moment for African Americans, but also for the country. And it's just fantastic to see Takoma Park step up and actually celebrate this holiday. And this is a great first anniversary celebration for Juneteenth. We have a very diverse population in Takoma Park, but so do a lot of other communities around the area. But we have a great unity in our community, but there's also a lot of room for improvement. And so growing out of today's event, I like the fact that we're looking at the history, but I also want to see us look forward to what are the next steps we're going to take to build that unity in Takoma Park.
It's important to the Black community. Freedom is very important because we've been in slavery for over 40 years and still are. It's important to educate not only everyone but our own kind to understand where we came from and why are we having this event.
Bringing people together and educating them on the history of Black African American residents in the United States who are descendants of slaves. But it's also important to mobilize this community to help them to understand that there is so much more work that's left to be done that we must do in order to address the disparities that exist in our community as it relates to health and housing and income. We have to do a lot to bring ourselves together, bring our group together to be able to lobby on behalf of this community to address all of those disparities that exist. It started with slavery, but we still experience a number of challenges today. And so I think one of the big things is the fact that Juneteenth is a federal holiday, which recognizes the impact that African Americans has played on the history of the United States. But also it's important to have an administration today that recognizes that there's so much more that needs to be done to truly achieve equity in the U.S.
I think everything must be improved. I think we still need to continue to improve on everything. Everything from freedom, because a lot of our people still not free, to fairness. It's a lot of stuff that we still have to work on, because no, we're not actually free, but we are free.
There's so much that we're doing in the city of Takoma Park, and we're really trying to take a person-centric approach to addressing some of the historical disparities that exist across all members of our community, especially those residents of color. So first, we have a police department where we are really pushing community policing. We have guardians, not warriors. We're really trying to make sure that our police departments are engaging with our members of the community in a positive way. So that's first and foremost. Another thing that we're doing is really trying to address housing in the city of Takoma Park, providing access to affordable housing. A lot of people don't know, but to live in Takoma Park, if you don't have a lot of money, you can't buy a house here. Houses are going from $600 to over $1 million. So trying to identify those opportunities where we can have affordable housing to further the diversity within our community is so important. Half of our community are renters, and so making sure that we can keep that momentum going is extremely important. Another thing that we've been doing in the city is really about engagement. It is knocking on doors, it is being a part of the community, it is events like this to reach our Spanish speaking, to reach our African American residents, to reach our Ethiopian residents. We have to be where they are, and we have to engage it with them in ways that they prefer to be engaged with. And so events like this, other events that we've been doing in the community, like the Flower Avenue event, are really important to building those bridges and building those partnerships so that we can understand what they need and be able to better provide and address those challenges that our community is facing.
This is a great opportunity again for us to have positive interactions with our youth. I've interacted with numerous members of our community, including our young folks. It's just a way for us to connect. It's a way for the city to connect. This is a phenomenal event. It's bringing back people from Takoma Park, bringing up, I've seen 3 generations here. I spoke to someone who I went to school with here in the Takoma Park. She had her daughter and her grandson here. So it's just an opportunity to really for the city, not just the police department, for the city to have really positive interactions with our community. I'm looking forward to this really growing and being an annual event that the city can participate in and the city can make positive interactions. We're also this summer going to be participating with the Geneva Church, with the church on Geneva Avenue for a summer educational program for kids 5 to 17. And it gives us an opportunity once again to have positive interactions with our youth. So the first time that a youth may interact with the police officer is actually in a positive nature. So we're always looking for ways to partner with other stakeholders within the community so we can connect with our youth. Because our youth are our future, and if we do not invest in them and develop relationships, we're all, as a community, we're going to fail.
Oh, I see our relationship growing. They're strong, but they're getting stronger. A great event like this, Juneteenth, the first time it's being celebrated like this in our community, it's great, something to take part of, and it just shows you the devotion that our council, that our organization, that our community, our agency have. Trying to just be at the fabric of the community and being able to have times like this, get out here, communicate, engage, have fun, and just have conversations. It's a great day, and it's a great day to celebrate this.
This event is all about sharing culture and celebrating with the Black community here, and also just the wider Takoma Park community. Small things matter. We do a lot of stuff. Part of it is trying to involve youth in service and giving back to the community. But one of our biggest projects right now is our food distribution, which every week we're out there getting food from different providers and then sharing it with other people in the community. It's over 1 million pounds of food every year, and we just want to share with everybody. We also try to enrich it. We give out books to kids in need. We have done lots of crafting, fun art events. Here we're doing some health screenings, and when we give out food, we also try to really encourage healthy eating and really improving people's lives through a lot of different ways, right? Not just giving them enough food to eat, but also that it's healthy, that they have fun things too, just trying to improve quality of life overall.
It's the inaugural Juneteenth celebration for the city of Takoma Park. It's awesome, but obviously quite a bit long overdue. Every year I learn a little bit more about the history of this area, including the fact that Silver Spring was a sundown town, all of the segregation and the historic covenants that restricted housing here, and of course where I live, right on Ritchie Ave, in the heart of Takoma Park, was the historically old Black neighborhood, currently converting into $1 million flipped mansions. And so Juneteenth is a celebration, it's a renewal, and it's also a time for us to redouble our commitment to justice. So very cool event. Housing and segregation is one of the more tangible things that's been a problem from the long legacy of the past of the United States. It's one that also persists and leads to problems in education, transportation, all of the rest of it, and so I think it's the one that probably as public officials we should dig our hands in and try to do something on. It's concrete and people need help.
I think the thing that makes me the most excited about this event is that it was led by the Maple Community Association. I think it's really important that it was a Black-led event, and so I really appreciate them stepping forward and doing that for us.
This event was fantastic and outstanding. The City of Takoma Park residents got together as a result of the Maple Avenue organization. This is the first event. They had everything you could think of. Food, watermelon, crayons, Small Things Matter, offered games for the kids, painting for the kids, Lunch and Learn, gave out t-shirts. The village gave out posters and signs. And so we all got together and we had fun. We had music from the choir and we had dancing from the children. So this was an outstanding event. I think so.
It's hot. It's a very special holiday.
Yeah, it's very special.
We're happy to because celebrate. It's the day we are officially free. Black people are officially free.
At a bunch of different competitions.
Yeah.
Dance competitions. Nationals.
Ocean City. And New Jersey, New York, all those areas. Yeah. Basically all. Yeah. Like salsa, modern, African, lyrical, ballet,
jazz,
modern,
tap,
everything.
Wow.
Ballet is the foundation of dance.
Okay. Yeah. Did you win?
Yes.
All right.
Legacy Performing Arts!
We're celebrating Juneteenth, representing Black lives and how they matter. I've been setting up and I've been refilling the ices and making sure the bouncy houses stay up. It's been fun. I like the backyard band.
It's important because it shows that we are all free when the slaves got freed, and it just shows that America's country for all, and it's an important day.
I think Juneteenth is important because it definitely shows how Black people are very important to the community, and everything they do to serve, and not they're free now, and this is basically what it's all about, to represent them and to celebrate them. So that's why I think it's important.
we're promoting just the recreation department in general, our camps, our fall programs, aftercare, all of that.
I think
I would take my kid there.
Everybody should come. Sign up for the programs. It's really fun. The kids enjoy it, especially in the summer, because we have a whole lot of activities planned for them. We go on trips every week, and the kids just overall enjoy it, and that's the feedback that we get from parents and the kids that come as well.
But I think it's very important to just, highlight minorities and like their holidays, and I feel like Juneteenth isn't very talked about or anything, so I think this is a really cool event, the fact that we're taking the time to highlight Black voices. And
this is a big deal. This is 2024. We're in the midst of a presidential election. Internationally, there are around 195 nations in the world. And did you know that 70 of them will be going to the ballot this year in 2024 to cast their vote in some level of democratic exercise? And so our community here, this observation for Juneteenth is a big deal because all across the nation, states, and more acutely in states like Florida, they're trying to erase our history. It's important to understand this. It's not just to understand what happened in Galveston, Texas in 1865, but to understand the context in which we're living today. We're in the midst of an argument, a national argument and discussion about when our nation was really founded. Was it 1619? Was it 1776? Was it 1789? Was it 1863, 1865, 1964 with the Civil Rights Act, or 1965 with the Voting Rights Act? We had the first exercise of actual diverse voting in the United States. This observation is an opportunity for us to understand who we are as a people and the importance of the election before us and the importance of us coming together as a community to understand the value of diversity and our exercise of our democratic experiment and the fragility of our democratic experiment nationwide, but here also in Takoma Park in the state of Maryland. I'm here with my two daughters. This is Isabel and Jacqueline. And real quick before we get out here, because it's too hot, look, I'm a relatively new father, as you can see. And look, that caused me to actually do a lot of exercise and research into my own lineage. And through that research, I found out a friend, my family was enslaved in North Carolina and Virginia. And the person I'm named after, his name's Willie Hicks. He moved to Cumberland, Maryland. And he registered to vote in the 1930s. A black man registered to vote in Cumberland, Maryland in the 1930s. He did so because he wanted to help control his destiny and have some sort of an impact on his community. And I think that is an inspiration for us all this Juneteenth. So thanks again for the Maple Community Association. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the mayor. Thank you to the council. This is an amazing event. So thank you very much for letting me participate a little bit.
I think it would be great to have additional awareness about all the different problems that still exist and about all of the opportunities. There are so many different ways for people to give back, but I just think a lot of people don't know. Like, there are a million different ways to volunteer or to help people that you know, and you just have to go out and find ways to do it.
As the world continues to get better and better of all these things, racism and people just coming together, Takoma Park is the exact example of what the world should be like. Any culture in the world can come together and have a good time, have food, have drinks. That's kind of what it's all about. Of course, freeing the slaves back in the day, and it's all about freedom and continuing to get more and more of that in the world until it's an even battlefield out here.
I have just enjoyed not only all of the performers, I have a soft spot in my heart for youth too. So to see the youth dancers, to have a chance to just be sitting at the lunch and learn table and have a young girl come up to me and start saying, "Oh, what book do you like to read?" She said, "Book about dreamers." And we sat there and we read a book together, right? And so just to have an opportunity to engage with so many young people in our community is so important. And that's one of the things that I love the most about having these types of events and being able to engage.
I'm going to say the gospel choir earlier, because God is good all the time, and all the time God is good.
I enjoyed the fact that it's so well organized. They have a lot of vendors here, have a lot of community groups here showing what they have and what they offer to the community.
Next year I would like to see the tents and the stage.
I wish they had a dunk tank, but I don't see it here. It would be a phenomenal, so next year my recommendation is dunk tank. But no, just everything here is fantastic. You know, I've interacted with a lot of the vendors, and you know, I think everything here is just A+.
The music, it's always about the music. Takoma Park's always had a strong music community, and of course the Juneteenth celebration here in the city is going to be no different, so the music is awesome.
We like the small things matter.
That's a great organization.
Yeah. I enjoy all the services and opportunities you get to learn about here at this event. Being able to register to vote, it's very helpful when you're about that age.
Basically, I think everything I did today was great. And like even now, I had a shirt for a game I played there. They told me I have to take a blood pressure that it is important for your health. Like you have to take your blood pressure like almost every day. If somebody in your family like had a blood pressure problems, it might affect you.
The music's been great, the food was delicious, all of it is super, super fun.
I guess being a mom, a lot of the time for me, it's watching parents watch their kids, and so when the dance troupe was performing and when they were talking to you guys, there were two moms standing over there that were just glowing with pride for their children, and so it was really sweet for me to watch that happen.
I think that it brings family and friends together, and it brings the community together, and I think it's a good idea for everyone,
To represent, history. People actually, some people coming out to see what the performance is, the catering.
I think the support is good with our community.
I would like to see a better day, a cooler day. I'm hoping for a cooler, breezier day, really. But this being our first event, it turns out really, really well. It's just the heat, the humidity for us.
More people celebrating.
And more recognition, more awareness.
More people. It's a little empty and the DJ has to be closer. We can't hear.
It's just because it's too hot. But you definitely see everybody coming together to celebrate each other, which is really nice. You see the community together.
I did love the performance, but I love seeing my old friends and coming out and having some food and just being with the community and representing for where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Takoma Park, again, best place in the world. And, you know, I've gone to college and I've seen, you know, at lunch when people sit down with all their own culture, you know, and it was weird for me because I'm from here and we're all mixed up. You know, I still live on Flower Avenue. It's every culture in the world. So I grew up in Takoma Park, Ritchie Avenue, and then moved to Takoma Avenue. So been there my whole life. Went out to school up in Massachusetts, but came back. I've been doing music since like 1999. So long time, man. And we made a genre called trap rock. So it's like trap and rock mixed. And yeah, we originated that, and so we stand on that, and we got a dancing panda and stuff. A lot of it is talking about the music, like what we do, you know what I mean? That we're just out here rocking, we're having fun, you know what I mean? It's a party, it's a great scene, all different types of people can come. It's all about, and that comes from where I grew up here, Takoma Park. All different types of genres of people and community, and so the music just speaks that, basically. That's what it's about, having a good time and bringing, you know, good vibes.
Just doing it year after year. So that everybody gets it on their calendar, so that people know that on Juneteenth that being in Takoma Park is the place to be. Because even some residents today, I was texting them and asking if they were coming, and they were like, oh, I don't know about that. So hopefully they'll be here next year.
We can't control the weather.
Right.
But what we can do is really try to continue to promote the value of Juneteenth across our community, really trying to get more people to just come out. I know 90-degree heat at noon is a challenge. But the more that people learn about this event, the more that people understand what this event is all about and learn more about Maple Community Association and the work that the city of Takoma Park is doing to really try to build those connections, the greater this event will be in the future.
This is just the starting point of this event. This is our first annual. We still have little kinks to work out, you know, getting the word out more to the community. I want to pack this whole field. So that's my goal. So you'll see the next 3-4 years, this whole field gonna be packed. Trust me.
Yes, get out and play.